There seems to be a problem with what the Bible teaches about angels. And some of you might know what I'm talking about, but I'll tell you an angel story to illustrate what the problem seems to be. When I was in high school, shortly after I had gotten my driver's license, I was driving my little sister around town in the area where we lived, and we're in this big old 1977 Dodge Sportsman van, which was a full-size van, fully carpeted interior, steering wheel about like this wide, with a tiny little horn right in the middle that you really had to lean into in order to get it to make any noise. It was in pretty rough shape already by the time I got my license, but that's what we had and that's what we drove. And my sister and I are having a great time driving around the city, doing some shopping, enjoying each other's company. And when suddenly, going about 50 miles an hour down a road, my horn honks, which is really strange because I vividly remember both hands being on the wheel, but my horn honked. And why that was significant is because I wasn't looking at the road at the time. I was looking over at my sister, who was in the passenger seat. And as I was looking at her, the horn honked, which caused me to turn my head forward. And when I turned my head forward, I noticed that we were very quickly at 50 miles an hour approaching a red light where traffic was already stopped. And so I slammed on the brakes when I saw the traffic, and we skid all the way up to the car in front of us, and we stopped when we were about that far from its bumper. Whew. If my horn hadn't honked, then we would have gone 50 miles an hour into the back bumper of the car in front of me, because I would not have turned my head, I would not have seen the red light, and I would not have seen that vehicle there. And because in a 1977 Dodge Sportsman van, the vehicles then didn't yet have these shoulder straps that come down, but just the lap belts that go around the lap, and no airbags, that could have been really, really damaging. And so with both hands on the wheel, and my sister over there, who honked the horn? I think an angel honked the horn. I think an angel honked the horn that day, so I would look ahead and I would see and I would apply the brakes and we would both be safe. That's the only explanation I can come up with. I didn't see an angel, but that's what I think happened. And stories like that, and you may have heard stories like that from others, or you may have some stories like that on your own, they seem to reinforce what the Bible teaches about angels. In Psalm 91, it says that God will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all of your ways. In the book of Hebrews, it says, aren't all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who are being saved? So angels are assigned to serve us. Angels are assigned to be concerned about us and to guard us in all of our ways, which is incredibly great news until something else happens. About that same period in my life, a classmate of mine in high school was in a major car accident. She lived, but she was going to have to live with the damage, the bodily damage, for the rest of her life. It had a very difficult impact on her and her ability to care for herself. And so you look at the one situation and you say, well, if an angel honked the horn there and stopped damage from happening, why didn't an angel step in and stop that from happening? And that seems to be the problem. That there seems to be an inconsistency. It's like, why here and not there? Why this and not that? The Bible gives us an explanation that at least begins to settle our hearts a bit when we think about how we're supposed to use the Bible's teaching about angels. In Matthew chapter 4, it's one of the places in the Bible where it teaches about Jesus going toe-to-toe with the devil. After Jesus was baptized, he went out into the wilderness, and the devil himself tempted Jesus himself for 40 days. And in one of the temptations, the devil quotes the Bible. He actually quotes that Bible passage on Psalm 91 that I quoted earlier. So listen to this. It says, Then the devil took him, Jesus, to the holy city and had him stand on the highest point of the temple. If you are the Son of God, he said, throw yourself down, for it is written, he will command his angels concerning you, and they will lift you up in their hands so that you will not strike your foot against a stone. But then Jesus answered him, it is also written, do not put the Lord your God to the test. And with that, Jesus was guiding us as to the proper use of the Bible's teaching on angels, that it's not a litmus test. a test to see how much God is paying attention to us, a test to see whether or not God loves us, a test to see whether or not angels are real. If that's what we're using the doctrine of angels for, then we're using it in the incorrect way. We can't use the teaching about angels as a test to see if God will or does or can do or be something. Jesus, in responding to the devil, was reminding us that Christians will always have to live by faith. We'll always have to live by faith. And faith in who? Faith in the one who was willing to go toe-to-toe with Satan, just for you. Faith in his word, faith in his love, faith in his guidance, faith in his determination to be there for you no matter what it would cost him. And in this series, we're going to be looking at some examples of how God throughout history has used angels to help so many others see the beauty and the power of the God who has always focused on being there for you.
Do you struggle to find time to connect with God? Well, click here to subscribe to our daily email. We'll make sure that you hear about God's promises, His love, and His amazing word.